Everyone, welcome back to another video, and well, patch 7.2 has hit the background downloader. The current build on the PTR is marked as the release candidate, and it looks like either the 28th of March or perhaps the 4th of April are very likely launch dates. So, it's time to think about what we can do until then so that once the patch comes out, we can fully enjoy it. Okay, so the first topic is artifact power. You want to hit your 35th trait on any weapon that you really care about. This is because patch 7.2's artifact weapon system basically unlocks at your 35th trait. Doing this will allow you to immediately get the patch 7.2 artifact weapon empowerment questline, which bakes the current Paragon trait into your weapon, so that's something that's definitely worth doing. Now, let's talk about marks of honor. The new patch is adding vendors that sell PvP gear appearances for Season 1 and 2 of Legion. Some of this armor looks pretty fucking awesome, so it's worth farming up the marks now so that when the patch drops, you can pick up some pretty sweet looking transmog gear for yourself. The marks come from BGs and arenas, but the more surefire way to get them is the PvP world quests. Some of them reward marks, and it's probably the most time efficient way to get them from what I've seen. This stuff is unlocked account wide, so it might make sense to concurrently work on it across a few different characters over the next few weeks. Alright, mount collectors. If you're really hardcore about farming up the new mounts, the Paragon mounts, then start getting as many characters, Exalted Reputation, with the Broken Isles factions that you care about. This means that they will be able to participate in the Paragon Reputation system that's actually coming in this patch. Now, this is a very extreme step to take, to be sure. Grinding it out in multiple characters is a lot of work, but it is the fastest way to get that mount if you really want to be riding one of those Storm Drakes around the place, and I can't blame you because it looks pretty damn cool. Next, let's talk about alts. The major thing that I would recommend is that you take some of the next 2 weeks to work on your alts, especially if you plan on playing one of them. Gearing up characters doesn't make much sense right now because, well, the new patch is coming out, it's got all of its associated reward systems, and it'll be a lot quicker to go through. Instead, I think the important thing you should do is get your new characters to max level and then get them ready. So work through your order hall and your class order hall upgrades. I especially recommend just as soon as possible doing your artifact knowledge research. You see, patch 7.2 brings new ranks past AK-25, and these ranks scale up in their multipliers magnitude a lot faster than 1 through 25 did, so I wouldn't really worry about farming up AP past the 35th trait when we know that, super efficient AP farming times will be coming due to the artifact knowledge. Yeah, so just get them to 35, you don't really have to worry much past that. Now, for more info on artifact power in 7.2, just, check out this video. Overall, the best thing you can do is ensure that you're able to get started on your 26th rank of artifact knowledge right off the bat when the patch drops. So yeah, just do those work orders. Now, it will be worth getting the order hall champions to a good state on your alts, ideally around 850 with decent equipment. You will get a few bits of guaranteed raid quality loot a week from this. If you aren't aware, some order hall missions give you a quest to kill a certain raid boss. Then doing that quest will give you a bit of loot from that raid at random. So it's very important to get that done. And then, of course, just bear in mind that you only have to clear the raid in LFR to actually get the reward. So that can be a handy way of getting some extra gear. Now, going through the patch 7.0 Order Hall campaign is a very good idea because, of course, 7.2 adds a whole bunch of new stuff to the Order Hall campaigns, and you probably want to be ready to just get cracking in that. Now, crafted legendaries. It's worth having a think about these. If you want to craft one, then ensure you enter the patch with 65 bloods of Sagaris. Then just take a look at the other crafting materials required. There's just some, regular ones. Then there's the unique legendary material needed for the final item, and then a Nether Shard Essence. Now, the Nether Shard Essence is purchased from the Nether Shard vendor in the Broken Shore. But yeah, just getting your 65 bloods, that's something you can do now to prepare. Okay, let's talk about the economy, just some very quick notes. I think the main one is that there will be a decrease in herb prices. This is great news, I think, for the overall health of the game, as I do think some of the consumables, I just think they were a bit expensive for the average player. They're updating the costs, basically, of some alchemy recipes in order to essentially just decrease the mat requirement. So really, this is not great for your bottom line if you're herbalist. Just dump your stock now, pretty much. But I do think, the herbalists, they've had a ball for the last few months. They'll be okay with a bit of a nerf. Okay, next, let's talk about flight. So, you want to work on Broken Isles Pathfinder Part 1. Part 2 is a part of patch 7.2, and it will unlock flying once you can actually complete it. Flight is, of course, account-wide, so you have to do this on one character. For the most part, it's quite easy, bar perhaps Good Samaritan, which can take quite a bit of time to unlock. Wowhead have a pretty damn good guide on it, but really you just need to go and do the patch 7.0 Suramar storyline, and then I think the other part is just unlocking the various different lay feats. You should be fine though overall. Next, pet battles. There's a new pet battle dungeon. I'm not your guy when it comes to pet battles, but I know Asmongold did a video on it, and I'll throw some links down in the video description to give you just some information sources for that new bit of content. And then let's talk about order halls. So it's probably worth farming up order hall resources for the new upgrades. You can also save up some of your armor kit so that you get your new champion up to the maximum item level nice and quick once you actually unlock them through the new Order Hall campaign. Now, it's also good to talk about stuff that we don't really need to worry about so that you're not, just stressed about stuff. Patch 7.2 is coming out quite soon. The raid is not, though. Blizzard have said that a small patch will happen to coincide with the raid, likely to provide some last-minute balance, do some feature tweaks, stuff like that. This means that you do not have to rush through the Nighthold, right? The Ahead of the Curve achievement is going to remain until the Tomb of Sagaris raid unlocks, so you can chill out, it's okay. This means that you could potentially actually farm up gear from the Broken Shore and blast your way through the Nighthold with that new gear, to actually get the achievement. And now then, the artifact knowledge changes really mean that it's not worth farming artifact power past your 35th trait, unless you really, really want to. And then finally, don't worry about the Obliterum Forge. It's going to be unlocked for everyone once the patch releases. And also, don't stockpile rep tokens, they are not usable for the Paragon system. And really, that's all the major stuff I could think about, all that I think is really important for the next patch. If you do some of those things and, don't stress yourself on the others, I think you'll have a pretty damn good time once the patch comes out. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.